The experiments you will see have been carefully done by professionals and should not be tried at home without parental guidance. Please follow the caution signs throughout this program.
Welcome to Creation is Science. I'm here with Professor Roy, and we're learning about our Savior, Jesus Christ. Aren't you happy about that?
Yes.
Yes, so I'm here with Caleb, Isaac, Melanie, and Sandra. Thank you for joining us, and we thank you for joining in as well. So what are we going to be learning today?
Well, we're going to talk about weather.
Weather.
Yeah, weather. Do you like the weather today?
Yes.
Do you like the weather today?
No.
It's a little chilly today.
Well, you know, I would like to teach you a tongue twister about weather. Would you like to learn a tongue twister about weather? Okay, are you ready? Okay, and it has weather words, like the weather we're having today. And another weather word is like whether or not you like my lab coat. Okay. Another weather word is like sometimes older people say, you just have to weather the storm, right? Okay, are you ready? Okay, here we go.
I
Here we
hope
go.
so.
Whether the weather be fair or whether the weather be not, whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot, we'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. So who wants to say it?
I already
Well,
love it.
okay. I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead. We're going to be looking at some weather instruments. Okay, so help us get those instruments.
All right, let's go. Can I get some helpers? Come and take them over, and you can take them over to your table. Okay, so here you go. I'm going to give you a couple things. Take them to your table and come right back.
Okay, and we're going to put our safety glasses on. Here we go.
Here you go. And here you go. Put this for Professor Roy, maybe.
Yeah, we can sit there right
All right, and let's put this over here. Okay.
Okay, so we've got a lot of weather instruments. That's interesting. We got that big box.
Oh,
that big box
we
has to
do
come
have
over
that
here,
big
too.
box. Okay.
All right. Now, do you think that the weathermen or the meteorologists, we could call them meteorologists, do you think they wake up in the morning and they guess what the weather's going to be like? Well, sometimes we wonder, but no, they don't guess, do they? Some of them will get up very, very early in the morning and they get satellite data about the atmosphere, and then they make a weather report. And then we hear them on the radio or the television, and they set our weather. So we need to know what the weather's going to be like, right? To plan what we're going to do for the day. So let's look at some of these weather instruments. Okay, so let's see what I got right here. Here, why don't you hold that and why don't you bring that over here for a minute? Just come to the front. Here we go. I've got something right here. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead. We're going to turn this up, right side up. Here we go, just like that. And I've got something right here. What is this thing right there? What does that do?
It spins.
It spins? Okay. It's supposed to point in a direction. And that gives us the what direction?
Where the wind is blowing?
The wind direction, okay? That will give us our wind. Then we have something down here that spins around. What would that give us?
Wind speed?
Wind
Good
speed,
job,
that's
then.
exactly right. So we're going to see if that works, okay? All right, so I have a vacuum cleaner right here. We're going to make sure, we're going to this is going to be like our wind, right? And that should point in the direction of the wind coming from my hose, and that should spin around. Are you ready? Okay, let's turn this on. Here we go. Are you ready?
Oh,
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Oh, that's windy.
What we got. No, stay where you're at.
All right.
Stay where you're at. Stay where you're at.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see what we got. We got to stop that. All right, here we go. Wow. So that's pointing in the direction of the wind, right? That's my wind. Look at that. That gives us wind speed. Isn't that amazing?
It is.
Okay, let's turn that off. Okay, thank you. All right, let's see. Okay, I got it. So this is called a what?
Vein?
Weather vane, that's right, it's a weather vane. And this right here is an anemometer, and it gives us the speed. Okay, so put that back on your table right here. Let's see what else we have right here. I'm seeing some of the thing right here. Here, why don't you hold this up for us? Hold that up, hold that here, and you can hold this other end. Just stretch it out, hold it up high so we can see it. What is that?
It's one
What
of
is
those
that? What is that?
thingies It's one of those thingies that you see in the road.
One of those things we see in the road.
I see them
It looks,
at the
it looks like a
airport.
traffic pylon.
construction workers.
Good. It's actually a windsock. It's a windsock, and the wind goes through here, and so that the planes, they can tell how much wind there is and what direction the wind is. That's called the windsock. That's pretty cool. So you can put that down over there. Okay, cool. And we got some other things. Let's see, what is that right there?
A thermometer.
It's a thermometer. It's a Galileo thermometer, and there's liquid in there, and we can tell what the temperature is. Now, let's see. I've got something else. I have something right here. What is that?
I have a box.
A lot of people haven't seen one of these. This is called a radiozone, and a radiozone goes up, and it goes underneath a weather balloon. And the weather balloons go, where do the weather balloons go?
To the sky.
They go up high into our atmosphere. And what happens to a weather balloon is it keeps going higher and higher and higher in our atmosphere. It does what?
Pops.
It pops, it breaks, which is interesting to me. Well, I tell you what, I have some pieces of a weather balloon, and I want you to feel those because they're very stretchy. Okay, and these are pieces, and we can kind of share those pieces. We can share those pieces with them. Okay.
Okay.
Check that out. See how stretchy that is. You can stretch it out, and it feels really, really nice, doesn't it? I think it feels really special. So what we're going to do is we're going to blow up a weather balloon. I have a weather balloon here. We're going to put some air in the weather balloon. Now, the weather balloons, when the meteorologists, when they send a weather balloon up into the atmosphere, they usually put a very, very light gas in it, right? Like what kind of light gas would they put in a weather balloon so it would float?
Helium?
Helium, that's exactly right. Exactly right. So they fill it up with helium, but you know what? That balloon can't talk to us, can it?
No.
Well, you know what? It can if they put one of these underneath it. And this is our radio zone. And this will tell us all kinds of very good information. In fact, let's go ahead and blow up this weather balloon, shall we?
Yes.
We're not going to put helium in it because I don't have enough helium to do that. We're just going to put air in it. Okay, so why don't you come to the front over here? Okay, everybody come to the front. Come to the front. Go, go, go. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to stretch this out over here. And let's see what we got. Here, hang on to that. And you put your hands right here. Okay, why don't you come to the other side? Can you come to the other side there? And you can move in here. Okay, I'm going to start filling this up with air. Okay, here we go. And this gets really no, don't hold it down. We want it to go up. There we go. Here we go. So let's put this down here. I'm going to turn this on. Whoa! Whoa, no, hold it. Hold it. Put your hands under it. Put your hands under it and hold it up. Whoa! We're going to fill it up. I wonder how big it'll get.
I don't want to know.
Hold it. No,
I don't want to know.
Keep it up there. Keep it there. There we go. Wow. Now, that's interesting. That'll fill up. In fact, this will break when it gets to be about 12 feet in diameter. Isn't that amazing? But it hasn't gotten 12 feet yet.
We're not going to do that, are we?
We're not going to do that. No, I don't want it to pop, okay, because that wouldn't be a good idea. Okay, we're going to put a little more air in it. And it's very light. Notice how soft it is?
It is very light.
And so this balloon could stretch. As it goes up into the air, there's less atmosphere above it, less pressure on the balloon, and what does it do? It keeps expanding, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually it does what?
It breaks.
It breaks open. That's right. Okay, I think what we're going to do, we're going to stop it right there. Okay, I'm going to turn this off. But hold on to it, hold on to it, hold on to it. No, wait. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix this just like that. All right, there you go. Now you hold that real tight so the air won't come out of it. But hold it up because we're going to look at something. Here we go. Now here's our radio zone. Here's our radio zone.
Gotta help her hold it.
Now they can't put the radio zone right underneath the balloon, the weather balloon, because it would what? The weather balloon would actually shield it from a lot of the weather, right? And so what they do is they put a little reel. Looks like a fishing reel over there with string on it. Okay, so we have this string right here, and there's whoa, where are we going?
Just a little bit.
And so they take this and they'll fasten this to the end, okay, of the weather balloon, and look at there, and there's string right there. And what happens is it starts to do what? It starts to let the string out, and this is a very, very long string, and eventually this is going to keep going down, 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 and you know what happens? What do is we actually take the radio zone, that's what this is called. We actually take the radio zone and fasten this onto there. So this is underneath about 150 feet, and it goes up into the air. Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing.
That is amazing. And this will tell us a lot of things that we need to know in the air. Here, okay, move back a little bit.
Yep,
What I
come
want
over.
you to do, put it down, just set it down on the floor, okay? And now if
Oh,
this,
it's huge.
now, I know it wants to bounce. Now, if this was a regular balloon and she lets go of the valve, what would it do? It'd go all over the place, right? But what's going to happen when she lets go?
Is the air
Is it
going to
gonna-
stay inside?
There's air inside, but when you open the valve, what's going to happen?
Is it going to shrink?
I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, let that go. Let that go. Okay, cool. There we go. The air is coming out,
Slowly.
and the air pressure, the atmospheric air pressure, is pushing it down. Hey, go back to your tables. Let's see what we're going to do right here. Now, the air is going out of our weather balloon, and as the air goes out, the balloon gets smaller and smaller, doesn't it? Okay. Eventually, the balloon is going to be as flat as a pancake because the atmospheric air pressure is going to push it down. And that's what we call atmospheric air pressure. We call it barometric pressure. Hey, let's look at this radio zone, because the radio zone is very important because it has batteries in it. It has a transmitter, and it transmits weather information down to our weathermen because they need to know what the weather is way up high in our atmosphere. So, I can take this apart just a little bit. Let's see what we got right here. And inside, we have a number of different things in here. We have batteries. We actually have a radio. We have everything that we need in order to communicate with our weather report. Interesting to me. Now, have you ever heard a weather report?
Yes.
Have you ever heard a weather report?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Well, weather reports, they don't guess what the weather's like. They have weather instruments. They actually use weather satellites to get that satellite information that they can't get without having weather balloons like this, transmitting radio signals down to the weather station so they can make that up. And what does that tell us? That tells us something about the atmospheric air pressure. How much air pressure is there up there? And what the humidity levels are, and what the temperatures are, and how high that balloon is. Isn't that interesting? Those are all things that we need in order to give us the weather report for the day so that we can plan our day. We can't plan our day if we don't know what the weather is going to be like. I think I like that. Hey, do you remember that tongue twister? Well, let's say it together before we close. Here we go. Whether the weather be fair. Share it. Whether the weather be fair or whether the weather be not.
Whether
Whether the weather be not. Whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot. We'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. Absolutely. Hey, what do you think about the weather?
That's amazing. God created weather for us to enjoy and to also take warning. Sometimes we say that we need to take warning. Anybody remember that tongue twister?
Yeah.
You do? Go ahead.
All right. Whether the weather be fair, whether the weather be not. Whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot. Well, whether the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not.
Whoa!
She
You
got it.
it.
Good job,
That is
Sandra.
fantastic. Okay, so you want the $20 in silver or gold or paper?
Paper.
Paper. Wow, that is amazing.
Oh, good job. And I'm thinking 1 Thessalonians 4, and it's talking about the weather in a form that we have the signs in all of the universe. God created weather, but there's signs in the weather. But just like there's signs in the weather, there's signs in the Bible. Let's start here.
For the Lord himself will descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of an archangel, and with the trumpet of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. Then we who are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and thus we shall always be with the Lord.
I can't wait to always be with the Lord, and when we discover these signs and wonders from what is in the Bible, we will be ready for Jesus' soon coming. Aren't you ready for that?
Yes, I am.
Thanks for joining us on Creation is Science!